hear the beep.
We could make it the blooper reel.
G'day everyone, welcome back to our channel, Fluid Adventures. We've got Jared here and Janet. Today we're going to do a quick chat about Janet's little whoopsie on her BMW 850 and what she chose to replace it. So without further ado, welcome over to Janet.
Hi. Yeah, I had an oopsie. Hi everyone. Yeah, as Jared mentioned, I did have an oopsie in Jared's last video with his KTM Husqvarna Australian edition. You all would have seen my BMW F850GS in the background. Or maybe you didn't, because it was all about Jared's KTM, Husqvarna KTM. So anyway, I did have an oopsie. We went riding one day on a group ride and let's just say I ran out of talent and I went too hard into a corner maybe and I dropped it, stacked it and I rode off my bike. Unfortunately, it had 45,000 Ks on it and I'd had it since pretty much new, 2019. So it was about 6 years old, but admittedly it was just too heavy for me and I didn't have enough talent for that. So let's hope I have enough talent for this one. I chose a CF Moto 450 NT. The American ones seem to have something about Ibex written on the side, etc. But as you can see, the Australian one is just 450. I don't know why, we have some different markings. So this little beauty, $9,990 drive away, ride away, I would say. And it included the crash guards and the bash plates and also the hand guards, all included in the price. So it was a pretty good deal for what it's worth and what you get for it. It's really good. I can go over the features later on, but you've probably already seen all of the other CF Moto 450 reviews, but I can go over some of them. So this one was really good, I think, for the price. And the dry weight of this one is 175. The wet weight is 192 to 197, give or take some fluids, I guess. But the BMW that I had was 229 kilos of wet weight. So a considerable difference of weight for me. So as soon as I hopped on it, I just loved it. I could put my feet comfortably on the ground. I rode with confidence and I was competent and I didn't run out of talent on the test ride. Otherwise, I would have bought the test ride bike, I'm sure. Isn't that right, honey?
Yes.
Yes. So anyway, the only thing I've actually done to the bike so far is the exhaust. Some of you may have seen this one already because, you know, it's an Akrapovic.
Another YouTuber actually put us onto this one.
We'll get into that one. And then the link pipe that I had to also buy. And then I also did a sticker kit. Now, please go easy. Don't hate me in the comments. It was my first sticker kit ever. So actually, I didn't do too bad for a first sticker kit. I know you're supposed to line them up neatly and nicely and gapped. Don't hate me. But this is pretty good. And the exhaust, the link pipe and the sticker kit, all from AliExpress, I think totaled $150, including the shipping. When you look online though, with the exhaust does not say Akrapovic on it. It's laser etched in, so obviously it's not an Akrapovic. So I think someone else on the back wheel recommended the exhaust, and I think he lovingly called his Alipovic. I'm going to call mine Alipovic. So that was mine. It was easy to install too. It was just literally one bolt here. Because I did it, ladies. All you ladies out there can do it. It was one bolt, and then there was a couple over here that I can't quite reach. I'm on the other side of the bike.
It's an Alipovic because it's the POV version.
I think at the time on the back wheel, bought it for $60, but I think people have cottoned on and it's now, I think I wrote it down here, $76. So thanks for that. I got it in time. And we're going to do a short video after this. You can hear the original exhaust on the CF Moto. And then I did another little video of it with no exhaust on it, just for a giggle. It sounds pretty bad. And then I did the exhaust with the Alipovic on it. So it sounds ripper.
we might just include that in this video. But as an example, and Janet raises a great point, you know, okay, it's not an actual Akropovich exhaust pipe, and the sticker kit only covers the tank, but $100 for the mid pipe, which doesn't delete the cat, the exhaust itself and the sticker kit, versus this wings on the KTM was $1,000. The Arrow D cat, of course it is actually a D cat, but it was $400. And then the sticker kit was several hundred. So already, budget-wise, for a budget-friendly bike, the MT's coming out trumps.
And speaking of budget, that's a really good point. I had a look at other bikes on the market before I made up my mind about this. I was looking at the BMW 900 because I had the 850, and the 900 was going to lose weight. It was going to have 15 kilos less weightage of it or something, and delete this and delete that, but the money stopped me there, so budget-wise. I also looked at the Himalayan and the KTM 390. Now, I've got to say, the Himalayan is not for me. I don't particularly like the look of it. Feel free to hate me in the comments. I don't mind. Each to their own. You buy the bike that you like. And the KTM 390 had a few bad reviews, including the side stand going down constantly and it clicking off and not being a great bike, and you had to really rev it hard. Now, I'm not a huge rever of a bike, so I just want the bike to go. Now, other reviews for this one had the throttle being really jerky. I've got to say, it is not jerky at all. So maybe those people who say it's jerky, maybe they should just look at their own riding style. I don't know. I like the bike. It's not jerky at all. I really like it.
That you've discovered so far anyway. You've only had the bike a week, so.
True, yeah, that's true. I'll find out if it's jerky or not, and then I'll accidentally do a wheelie on the back wheel, and then, yeah, we'll find out. So I did look at the other bikes, but I decided on this one after I took it for a test ride that it was just the bike for me. My feet are comfortable and flat on the ground. I'm 174 centimetres and slowly shrinking, and I weigh, I don't know, about 80-something kilos. Let's just say, ladies, get on this bike. If you're looking at a bike, you can do this quite comfortably. Your weight and your stature won't matter. If I can put my feet on the ground and I'm 174 centimetres, you will too. And it's dead easy to work on so far. I implore you to go and have a look at the bikes. The only other things Jared was just mentioning, I have only had it a little while. I've only done 400 Ks on it, including yesterday's little outing. Yesterday we went out to Gundaroo and Sutton. We found some dirt roads, and I've got to say it was very easy to switch to an ABS off, like the off-road. It's one simple button on the dash, unlike the BMW that was convoluted and you had to stop and do things. This one was just a simple 2-second hold of it while you were riding it, and then afterwards you just had to slow down and press it again and it went off. It was easy done. And although it wasn't dirt and it wasn't Erzberg, it was still a dirt highway, and it found dirt, and it got slightly, actually not really dirty at all, but it was a lovely ride out, and it averaged about 3.4 litres per 100 K, so it's also economical being a smaller bike.
So speaking of Erzberg, Janet's actually got her 350 over here. This is Janet's 350, Husky all the way. And that's what she uses for Erzberg. Lovingly tuned by Terry Hay at Shock Treatment. In fact, both our bikes, my 450, also tuned by Terry Hay at Shock Treatment. He does a great job. Coincidentally, he also did my RSV4, which is currently in road mode. But yes, shout out to Terry and Shock Treatment. They do a great job over there.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
I haven't seen you for a few months.
Give your Rottweilers a pat for us.
And also speaking of other things yesterday, the ride height as such. So when I was standing up on the pegs, the ride height was fine if you want to be up on the highway and just stretching your legs out and then just standing up on the bike. But I found out, as Jared calls it, attack mode. So when I try to ride a little bit more aggressively and you're trying to lean down on the bike, I didn't find that I could really sort of bend my elbows and not be lazy like an adventure rider, how we all ride around like this. we should ride around more attacking and hands up on the bars so you have more control. I just didn't find that, but maybe that's just me getting used to the bike. But I can adjust a few things and I might come back to that. But the suspension can be adjusted, the KYB forks can also be adjusted. But when I had my hands here and I was standing up on the bike, I could not get into a good attack mode. So I wasn't happy about that, but I'm not too much of an attacker. Plans for this bike are, and probably upcoming, I would need some luggage. We are planning to go moto camping. We have all the gear, and we have some idea, but we need things to carry it in. Now, the BMW was obviously set up with panniers and stuff, but this being a brand new one, I have no luggage. So I've got to look at a top bag. I've got to look at side panniers also. If anyone has any recommendations out there, if they've got another CF Moto, hit us up. Jared has Moscow Moto things.
I have recommendations. So over here, Janet, you should probably look at this company. They do some great kit. No, this is not the kit I use on the Aprilia. It doesn't carry luggage. It goes on the KTM.
That's fair. We did actually have that Moscow Motor kit in the garage on a TTR 90, and it was so funny. I think you took a picture of it one day and you said you're going around the world, anything else to get ready with? And people actually came back with comments about how to get ready on your trip around the world on a TTR 90 with the Moscow Motor kit. People can't take a joke.
Some people are easily triggered.
Yeah. And I might even get the taller seat looking at that, because yesterday's ride, standing up and sitting down, everyone else has been getting the taller seat. This is a little bit tough just around the edge where the sides of your bottom hang. And I had a little bit of a sore butt, but I'm saying I'm probably bike unfit, but I might look at a taller seat as well, or the rally seat. But overall, I actually really love the bike. It's pretty economical so far and rides really nicely, and I couldn't speak more highly of it at the moment. I guess as a girl, I should probably come up with a name, but why don't you leave that in the comments, and maybe you guys and gals can give me some suggestions of names to call it, if anything. Or what do you call your bike? Because that's always an interesting one, because I always call my cars something. But that's it from me. Anything else from you, Jared?
No, I think you've pretty much covered it. I've got to say, the Chinese manufacturers, look, I really think they're coming a long way. It was probably much like the Japanese manufacturers back in the day, where companies like Mako and Bull Taco and whatnot were leading the way in the world of motocross, at least. And when the Japanese first started making bikes, they weren't well known for reliability. They very quickly caught up, and as we all know these days, they're right up there with the best. So I'm usually not a fan of Chinesium, or just everything seems to be made in China. And to be fair, there's varying quality components, or very quality out there between, even if you just look at clothing products or other things that are made in China, there's some really good stuff and there's some horrible stuff. And this CF Moto pleasantly surprised me. I was really surprised by the addition of, the crash bars and the controls. All the controls seem to be really well made. The dash, and I know it borrows a lot of components from KTM and probably copying designs from other bikes as well, but the finish on it is surprisingly good, and it was not something, I'll happily admit, being a bit biased against the Chinese manufacturers, and having seen some of the early models, or even, I know it's not Chinese specifically, but the Hyosung, maybe I thought that was Thailand, but it was a horrible bike. And you only took 5 seconds of looking at the front brake caliper, for example, on the Hyosung was a bracket on top of a bracket, and it was just a horrible design. Whereas the CF Moto radial brakes, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, there was no way you'd buy a $10,000 bike that had radial brakes, even from Japan. Radial brakes, sorry, from Japan.
Even a little thing like this, everyone's talked about the adjustable windscreen so far, so I I think that's a great little addition to have, up or down. And if I want a GPS, I might look at mounting a GPS here, but it doesn't really matter.
Also, it comes with the double take style mirrors, so you can fold them out of the way. Again, something that a lot of us are doing to our own bikes.
Yeah.
But on the CF Moto comes stock.
I haven't actually done it yet, and it seems really tough. Tough going around. I just feel like I'm going to break it. Oh. Oh.
Now you've
I'm
done
a girl. Blooper reel? No, there's no bloopers here. But that's all I really. Oh, actually, one thing I did find quite amusing with the bike is that the VIN is a sticker. So my choice, my recommendation to anyone out there who has got one of these would take a photo or write it in your manual. It's probably in your manual anyway, but take a photo because that's bound to come off after some dirt bike riding.
There'll be another sticker under the seat as well, no doubt. So
I believe it is inside and under the forks or something. So, yeah. And that's it. So if anyone's got any questions, remember to put your comments in there if you've got questions. Tell me if you think I should give it a name or maybe what you name your bike. All right, so that's it. Off to our cold Canberra weather here and checking out. See you guys when I do something next to it. Bye.